From the bizarre world of the paranormal to the sinister secrets of the U.S. government, the Black Vault has become known worldwide as the premier spot for anything and everything conspiracy. Now, join me, John Greenwald Jr., as we dive into the research together in hopes to decipher these mysteries. This is the Black Vault Radio. That's right, this is the Black Vault Radio. I am your host, John Greenwald Jr. Thank you so much for making the Black Vault Radio your podcast of choice. Wanted to welcome you all to the program. We've got a special guest, Jon Nowinski, owner, operator, creator of the Smoking Gun Research Agency, or SGRA, as it is more commonly known. If you're not familiar with Jon or the Smoking Gun Research Agency yet, definitely log on to www.sgra-media.org. Learn all about the organization. And Jon, he'll be joining me in just a couple of minutes here on the Black Vault Radio. But first, a couple of announcements. Like I mentioned on the last show, the Black Vault Radio Network, or BVRN, the main network that carries this program here, and now many, many other programs, more than two at the recording of this, actually, more than 250 hours worth of podcasts and talk radio shows to download at www.blackvaultradio.com. Again, www.blackvaultradio.com. Tons of stuff, actually, that you have to check out. If you've missed any of the past shows here on the Black Vault Radio, if you're listening on the Paranormal Radio Network, or if you're listening on the Anomaly Radio Network, or Radio Metal Storm back east here in the great United States, if you are listening on any of those venues and you have not heard this show before, or if you're interested in hearing more of it, you can check it out, blackvaultradio.com. There's 38 hours of this show available to download as we speak, but also radio shows such as Binal of America, The Blue Rose Report, Crossroads Paranormal, Live from Roswell, Paranormal Radio with Captain Jack, Shadows in the Dark, Through the Keyhole with Karen Dolan, Karen, my last guest here on the Black Vault Radio. Even a United States military podcast on military history. It's the National Museum of the United States Air Force. It's a lecture series for those of you interested in military history. And again, this isn't just paranormal stuff. There's going to be not only this military history podcast, but many other types of programs available. Paranormal was just the first one to come online on the Black Vault Radio Network, or BVRN. Again, blackvaultradio.com. Download any of these 250-plus hours. But also coming your way, political podcasts for those of you who got mad at me for supporting John McCain or announcing my support, which, by the way, I said that I'd give updates. I think it's absolutely fascinating that McCain picked Sarah Palin as his vice president choice. I think it was absolutely brilliant. I had to get this political comment in because I want those nasty letters again, of course. No. I just want your comments and feedback. Politics is a hot topic here on the Black Vault Radio Network, highly controversial, because I get more letters on that and the brief mentions that I give it in the beginning of the show than anything else. Can you believe it? Which brings up another interesting point. On blackvaultradio.com, you can get your voice heard on the air and also get your full message, because I won't edit it. I promise you. I give you my word that I will not edit any messages that come in. They may be played in a shorter form on the air because I don't have time to play everybody's message. But they will be available at blackvaultradio.com at the BVRN mailbag right here for the Black Vault Radio. And if you want to get your voice heard, please give me a call. That's what the number's for. Area code 641-715-3900. It's going to ask you for an extension. The extension is 21580. And then just give me your message. Talk till your heart's content. Tell me you agree with me. Tell me you think I'm an idiot. But keep it semi-clean so I can play it here on the Black Vault Radio. Jon Nowinski of the Smoking Gun Research Agency coming up. Stay tuned. And welcome back to the Black Vault Radio. I am your host, John Greenwald, and I am joined with the owner, operator, and creator, I believe, of the Smoking Gun Research Agency, Mr. Jon Nowinski. John, thank you so much for joining me here on the Black Vault Radio.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, and we had quite a wild ride to try and get you on here, so I appreciate your patience. I talked about it in the beginning of the show. My car had an unfortunate dead battery the other day when we were scheduled, and a 45-minute estimate turned into 4 hours, so thank you for your patience. Here we are a couple days after we planned to do it, but I appreciate your patience on that. And for those of you that are listening, Jon Nowinski, like I said, operates the Smoking Gun Research Agency. John, let me pass it back to you. Tell me a little bit about what this agency is and what do you do?
Well, the SGRA is an organization that's a little bit unique in that we investigate phenomena of all different types. So we're not just a UFO group or a government group. We kind of do the whole 9 yards. We have experts in the fields of government cover-ups, ghosts, UFOs, cryptozoology, and basically strange mysteries. And we investigate that, and we report back via our website and via a monthly newsletter that we put out. So we really cover a lot here.
And for those of you listening on the blackvault.com or blackvaultradio.com, you can go ahead and surf while you're listening to this broadcast. And the Smoking Gun Research Agency, or SGRA's site, is sgra-media.org. Do I have that right, John?
Yep, that's right.
sgra-media.org. Now, how often do you guys go out into the field and investigate whatever you investigate?
We actually go out fairly often. As far as our ghost investigations go, we've done about 4 to 6 investigations a month. So we're pretty busy with it. And, we actually do go out with a lot of equipment. We go out with camera equipment. We go out with electronic phenomena to try to detect EMF fields. And we actually do that quite often. The UFO aspect of what we do is a little bit more of just interviewing witnesses and conducting some research. So there's not a lot of field work there. But we do the collection of the data, and then we try to pass that off to other organizations like MUFON that might be interested in actually doing field investigations.
Now, before we get into the UFO stuff, let me ask you about your ghost investigations, because we rarely talk about that here on the Black Vault Radio, and I absolutely love the topic. I'm going to be having a couple ghost investigators on in the coming weeks. But since I have you on and you do this, tell me a little bit about what a ghost hunter, so to say, does. What do you guys look for when you go out into the field, and what kind of places do you go to?
Well, it's very interesting that, you call it ghost hunting because that's what most people know it as. But it's not really hunting anything. It's really going out there with scientific equipment and looking to see if we can actually find a reason for some of the phenomena that's out there. And sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. But it's using a lot of scientific equipment. As I said, we use a lot of camera equipment. We also use EMF detectors, which detect changes in the electromagnetic field. And these are all things that can affect people into actually having hallucinations without their knowledge of things. So we actually go out. We don't look to debunk things, but we don't look to believe every story we hear right off the bat.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this since 1997.
And you're a fairly young, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you're a pretty young guy, like myself, to be involved in this field, and I think you may even be younger than I am, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm 27.
27. You and I were matched. What month?
Yep.
What month are you?
February.
February. All right. I'm April. So anyway, I just wanted to put you on the spot there because you are a young guy. You're out there doing this. And it's rare for people to really not only get involved as heavily as all of us are that are talking and probably listening, but to actually go out and do these investigations. What really got you involved to do this? Did you have an experience yourself, or were you just struck by curiosity?
Well, I did have a couple of experiences myself when I was younger, but what really got me involved was just the fact that mainly my mother was always very supportive of me looking into these odd things, and she never told me that I couldn't.